안녕 친구들. Hello my friends and welcome back to Sing Your Dad Reacts. My name is Josh. Thank you so much for your patience with me and getting back to reacting. I've been sick. It kind of traveled through my household. We kind of cycled it through. That tends to happen. Anyway, I am excited to get back to reacting, and I noticed from my posts and my content that I haven't reacted to Forestella in quite some time, and so I wanted to kind of go back and do a reaction to them. I read through the comments again from all of you. Thank you very much. And many of you said that you really wanted to hear a reaction to their Suis, Malade. So what I did was I went back, since I've already reacted to Lara Fabian's cover of this song, which was incredible. I went back and watched that just to get a little context and a reminder of what the song is about and things like that. So, and then as I do with all of my reactions, where I can, I went back and researched the lyrics, and I'm going to go through that here shortly. So those of you new to my channel, this is how I do things. I'm one of the only reactors out there that I'm aware of that actually goes through the lyrics at the beginning, talks about what I feel like the message of the song is and the story arc that the songwriters are trying to portray. And that gives me a little more insight into the power of the song and what it's meant to communicate to me, and can bring more power to the performance. So that's why I do that. If you're not into that, that's cool. Feel free to skip ahead to my reaction. For those of you that are, the lyrics that I found, the English translation, and the songwriters, by the way, are Alice Donna and Serge Lama. Hopefully I'm pronouncing those right. The English translation I found says that the lyrics are, I don't dream anymore, I don't smoke anymore, I do not have any story left. I'm dirty without you. I'm ugly without you, like an orphan in a dormitory. I don't want to live my life anymore. My life ends when you leave. I have no more life, and even my bed transforms into a station platform. When you go away, I am completely sick. Like when my mother went out in the evening and she left me alone with my despair. I'm sick, perfectly sick. You arrive, we never know when. You leave again, we never know where. And it's going to be almost 2 years that you don't care. Like a rock, like a sin, I'm clinging to you. I'm tired, I'm exhausted. To pretend to be happy when you are here. I drink every night, and all the whiskeys. For me they taste the same. And all the boats carry your flag. I don't know where to go anymore. You're everywhere. I am sick, completely sick. I pour my blood into your body, and I'm like a bird, dead when you sleep. I'm sick, perfectly sick. You deprived me of all my songs. You emptied me of all my words. Yet I had talent before your skin. This love will kill me if it continues. I will die alone with me near my radio like a stupid kid, listening to my own voice, who will sing completely sick, like when my mother went out in the evening and she left me alone with my despair. I'm sick. That's it, I'm sick. You deprived me of all my songs, you emptied me of all my words, and my heart is completely sick. Surrounded by barricades, you hear I'm sick. So very emotional song, very powerful lyrics, and very symbolic. I love the imagery. It's almost like poetry. Some songs really kind of have that flow. Like there's so many little imagery type comparisons and very descriptive phrasing that really brings a lot of power. It just really adds a lot to the song. So like, I'm ugly without you, like an orphan in a dormitory. So it's like these parallels that these songwriters have drawn with kind of describing the emotion that this person is feeling. It's really powerful. I don't want to live anymore. My life ends when you leave. So it's like, that's very like dramatic, very like pronounced feelings of emotion, very deep level of love, and a very strong longing to be with this person, right? I have no more life. My bed transforms into a station platform. Again, the imagery and the parallels they're calling here, like when I'm laying in my bed, it's like I'm at the station platform saying goodbye, right? So this person is being transported to this location that brings this anxiety and depression, this moment of parting that brings this depression and sickness. Like when my mother went out in the evening and she left me alone with my despair. So again, it's intensifying this feeling of loneliness, right? My mom left, you left, I just felt alone. There was no one there to comfort and console me, right? And then kind of the fleetingness of the being able to see this person, right? You arrive, we never know when. You leave again, we never know where. And it's going to be almost 2 years that you don't care. Like a rock, like a sin, I'm clinging to you, right? I love that, like a sin, I'm clinging to you. That kind of parallel that's being drawn there, like a sin is a bad thing, and you can feel like the person's almost looking at this loved one as a sin because they continue to care for this and want it there even though they shouldn't, because it's not good for them, right? And their who they are and their happiness, right? I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I drink every night. All the boats carry your flag. So again, it's all these things that remind this person of their loved one that's gone. I pour out my blood into your body and I'm like a bird. I'm not super familiar with what that means. If any of you can comment on that as to what that imagery, what that is meant to speak of, let me know, because I don't understand what that's talking about. I'm like a bird dead when you sleep. So again, I'm not familiar with that comparison or that phrasing, so just feel free to elaborate on that. I had talent before your skin. That I double checked that translation, and it looks like it's in multiple places that I found. So again, if you have any comments on that as to what the songwriters are talking about there, that would be helpful. This love will kill me if it continues, and I will die alone with me near my radio like a stupid kid listening to my own voice. My heart is completely sick, surrounded by barricades. So it's almost like the heart is surrounded by barricades, meaning there's no way the happiness is going to get in. These barricades are around it. So it's like the next step beyond a broken heart. It's a broken heart that is walled off and unable to have any feeling or love come into it anymore. So it's beyond broken, right? It's basically deactivated. So very powerful song. And I believe that's it. So with that, I will jump into the reaction. For those of you, like I said, that are new to my channel, if you could, please click on the subscribe and the notification bell. And you'll be notified of any new reactions. I'm going to post this one and then do another one. I'm going to try to do 2 at a time, like 2 in one evening type thing, and then I'll have another one queued up that I can edit and post right after this one, so that hopefully will make it so I have more kind of in a row and less time in between reactions. So thanks again for your patience. And let's jump in here. I don't think there are closed captions, so hopefully they have captions built in to the video like Lara did. Here we go. Hopefully this doesn't get blocked. By the way, sorry, I did do a little research on the singers in the group. You guys have made some great comments as to kind of clarifying who's who within the group. So I have like that as a reference here on the right. So Bae Do-hoon he's listed as a musical actor, baritone tenor range. Kang Hyung-ho is kind of has a rock background. He's more like the countertenor. He's the real high guy, I believe. And then Jo Ming-yu is listed as the leader, and he's more like a tenor type voice. And then Ko Ru-rim is basso profundo, so low bass, basically, is what that means. So I'll try to kind of reference that as I talk about the different singers as we go. Interesting. Interesting instrument choice. Gives it kind of that old feel. Oh, cool. That's a cool setting. This sounds a little bit like Lara's version with the piano. This must be Ko. It's got that deep voice.
Je suis seul sur toi, je suis laid sur toi, comme une orpheline. Dans un docteur, je n'ai plus envie de vivre ma vie. Ma vie, c'est ce quand tu pars. Je n'ai plus de vie et même mon lit se transforme en quai de gare. Quand tu tombes, je suis.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Okay. Yeah, they've got some really good voices in this group. And what I love too is that they have a variety of timbres in these different voices, right? You go from Ko Ru-rim with like this deep, bass voice, and then King with this crazy high, more like a rock contemporary type sound to his voice, right? I think Ko is the one that was classically trained, if I remember right. So you guys can correct me, but so again, the style is going to be a little different in the way they approach the vocal, and that's part of what makes it really cool, because they each bring something unique, but yet the thing that's consistent there is that they're feeling it in their own way, and they're singing with power and emotion. Each of them is, right? And that's really like a common thread there that you could feel kind of come through. If Ko had started and been really emotional about it, and then Kang had joined and he was just kind of, not as emotional and was kind of singing it different, with a different feeling, then it would have kind of broken the continuity of the song, right? But they're both doing amazing with really bringing that emotion and power through from the lyric. Let me just go back here. It's got great pitch. You can and I'm not a French expert, but from what I no French. It sounds like they did a great job with their. Let's see if they're gonna have someone go next, or are they all gonna come in here?
Comme un péché, je suis accroché à toi. Je suis fatigué, je suis épuisé. Tes veilles semblent d'être heureuses. Quand tu sois là, je bois toutes les nuits.
Oh.
Mais tous les whisky, pour moi, on ne m'aime plus. Et tous les matins portent ton amour. Je sais plus tu es partout, je suis malade, complètement malade. Sur vêtements sont ton corps, et je suis comme un oiseau.
I think this is Joe Menu, right?
Comme toi, et dont je suis.
Oh. Oh, that's cool. I love how they have like these contrasting parts, right? So you have one singing the lyric and you have someone else doing like an ah or an ooh, and multiple singers playing off each other. Like I think it was Kang and Joe, I think, were singing to each other and stuff, or Kang and Bay were singing to each other, and then the bass has his own part. That's really cool stuff when you kind of you write it where it's not just like straight harmonies, everybody's singing the lyric together. You have kind of these different textures to it, right? I think that's a good word for it that comes to mind. Each vocalist is creating something different. They're painting a different picture, and it all kind of comes together into this really creative, unique version of the song. So I'm going to go back a little bit because that part was really cool. When they kind of, and see, he's doing the ah, he's doing an ah while the others are singing lyric. I think it starts right here. See? He's just doing an ah. And then Kang gets into it. Their timing is impeccable too. Yeah, see, he's on an ooh right now.
Avec moi, près de ma radio, comme un castillo. Écoute-moi, propre voix qui chantera, je suis malade, complètement malade. Comme ma sur tes soirs et qu'elle me laisse seul avec mon désespoir. Je suis malade.
This is cool. You hear that cut off though? They were together. There was a harmony going on right there. And the two of them cut off super like together on sync, in sync. That's hard. Things like that. I've mentioned before in my reactions. I sang in a quartet for 10 years. I sang lead in a men's quartet, and so I understand what it takes to sing in harmonies and then to kind of have your cutoffs be exact and stuff like that. It's not easy, especially where they've got all these different parts going at different times. If someone sings the wrong timing or comes in late or cuts off late or whatever, then it's going to carry over and not sound right with what the others are doing, right? It all has to mesh together. And when you're each doing something different, it even makes it harder because it's like you can't just all cut off together because you're all on the same word and the same, phrase and all of that. So they've made it, harder on themselves by doing it this way, but it's super impressive what they're doing here. And their voices are, of course, amazing. Yeah, see, they're each doing something different. Right there, see? Oh, go Kane. Nice cut off. Okay. Wow. Jeez. Okay. So I'm definitely seeing why those of you that are lovers of Forestella really like this group so much, because they are super talented and they've got a very unique sound. It really kind of reminds me of Il Divo. If you guys have heard Il Divo, they're a quartet that travels around, and they actually have singers from different parts of the world, right? I think the tenor, the guy that has the higher voice, is from America, and they've got one from Spain, and I want to say France and Sweden or something like that. Anyway, it reminds me the sound is similar in that they've got all different types of voices, but when they come together, it's really powerful. This reminds me of that. But yeah, they are super good. This was an amazing performance. And as I mentioned, they all brought it and at different levels, right? So you can see toward the end there, and this is what Lara did similarly with her version of her cover of this song, and it grows toward the end, right? Until it's like the feeling of anxiety and frustration and the power comes full tilt at the very end of the song, right? And you felt that with this cover as well. They really did a great job kind of bringing it to this fever pitch type thing at the very end there, and then coming through with that high note at the very end. And I have to say, like, Korum, I mean, his voice, he's good for a bass. He's got a lot of really strong, he's got a lot of power down low. And that's a hard thing. Like, I'm a bass baritone, basically, is what I am. So I can sing not super low, like Avi low, but I can sing pretty low, down to like an E2. But, so I can appreciate when someone can sing low and yet bring the power behind it, because that's not an easy thing to do when you're kind of manipulating the vocal cords down there in the lower range. It takes a lot more air and control of your vocal cords and stuff. Props to him, and each of them has a great voice, great pitch, unique timbre. I would say the two most similar voices are probably Bay and Joe. Seem to kind of have they're similar voices, but they're different in some way, right? I think if I'm getting them right here, hopefully I am. I believe the one with kind of the reddish brown hair, that was standing next to King. I believe that one is Bay. I could be wrong there. And then the one with kind of darker hair, a little thicker, that one is Joe, I believe, but it could be the other way around. Anyway, the one with the darker hair, he's got a brighter voice, so there's a little more twang, a little more brightness to his tone, so it carries a little bit better. That type of voice tends to carry more, but they both are awesome. So yeah, I loved it. They brought a lot of power to it, and emotion, and it was, I've said this in other reactions, but the true test to find out if a performer or performers are singing with power and emotion is to watch the audience members. If you see people that are getting emotional and really feeling it, then you know that they're bringing that power and emotion to the performance, and the people there are feeling it, and that's really a good testament to whether or not they're bringing that aspect to it, which is very important in my opinion. So awesome. Let me know what your other recommendations are for Forestella so I can do another reaction. I look forward to expanding my reactions to this amazing group. Let me know what you want me to react to, and I'll add it to the list. And again, thanks for your patience. Watch for more reactions coming. I will end my reaction, as I do with all of my reactions, by reaching out to all of you around the world to let you know that you are special, you are loved, and you can accomplish your dreams. And I hope that you have people in your life that are there for you and don't leave, and help you to be happy and not depressed, as this song talks about, right? And that you feel fulfilled in your life. You all deserve that. So, again, thank you for your support, and take care.